Jeff, I think you're live now.
Just waiting for it to finish up.
Yeah.
Okay, Barry.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here, both of you. We obviously don't have a quorum. We will be doing or trying to do our elections in an in-person meeting in November. We will figure it all out sometime next week or two and let everybody know, because we have not had the attendance necessary, the quorum necessary to do any elections. There are obviously things we do want to talk about tonight, but that's when that'll take place. Among the other issues we have to discuss are the referee fees, which we need to vote on in order to change them if we can, and it wouldn't be for this season. They have to be for the spring season. But one thing we will have to address sooner as opposed to later is Region A Vice President, because Carlton has taken the made the decision to not continue in that position. So I believe, well, I don't know if anyone's officially declared they're going to run or not, but we've heard rumors of people like Marino are going to. I don't know if anybody else is interested or wants to. I think it's something we should discuss. But that being said, as for the other updates as to how the league started and everything else, Jeff, I'll turn it over to you.
Sure. Hey, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Hey, Lou, you got a question. I see that. You're waving. Go ahead, Lou.
Lou, you're muted.
My life. First
Yes,
time.
you're live.
Okay. First of all, Marino is running. I talked to him today.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for support from me. Second thing is, I have an opinion about the referee rates, the referee pay. And I think that it goes to the AGM, where the referee administrator thought it was a good idea for her to tell us what she wanted. And we, as the good guys that we are, voted for some of that stuff that she wanted to do for us or to us. And for us to now raise the referee fees, I think that would be giving her the idea, or giving her the opportunity to say to the referees that she did it. She got us to raise the rates, and that she's the good guy in all of this, which I fail to see.
I mean, while that may be true, Lou, I know that Mike Weber Jr. had a plan for potential referee fee changes at the AGM, but since we didn't have a quorum, it wasn't discussed or voted on. So, I mean, while she might like to take credit for it, and again, it doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. It just means that it's something that's a point of discussion that occurs during that meeting. So that's the only reason that, you know, Barry brought it up.
The question I have about it is this: whether, I don't care who gets credit for anything. I just care that we are competitive to get the best referees we can get without putting too bad a burden on our clubs. So if other leagues are imposing greater referee fees than us, then there's a couple of things going on. First of all, they may get preferential treatment from referees who are better referees to go there for obvious reasons. And one of the other things is, you know, when as an assigner, you have to assign multiple, most people assign multiple leagues within a certain time frame and a day. And most of the clubs, your clubs, play in different leagues during the same day too. So if you're paying $50 in game one, and the same thing, you're paying $45 in game two or $60 in game two, whatever it is, you know, I don't think that's inhibiting anybody from playing in our league or anything else. I think what we need to do is be competitive to attract the best referees at the least amount of burden to the clubs. And also for assigning purposes, we need more input from the assigners about that, but I think they have to respond as to, is there a consequence for us not being as competitive as we need to be with the level of referees we're getting? And that's a question I have, and I don't know the answer to.
Okay, this league gets the best referees available because of who they are, because of what the league is and how the league is. I know the assigners, and I know that we assign the best referees that we have to these games. And I'm not concerned so much about that. What I'm concerned about is the ethics of the assigners. Okay, you have a referee vice president who is also an assigner. So he should be doing, ethically, he should be doing the best job with the best referees he can get his hands on for this league.
Who we always have, though. I mean, I'm just saying,
Yes.
whoever's been our referee assigner, referee VP has always been, except for myself, probably,
Yes.
has always been one, yeah.
Okay, so there are, first of all, there are no better referees out there, because the adults and the other quote quote leagues have taken all of the referees who want to make money and are using them in the adult games, which we can't compete with financially. So if we give a raise of another $5 a game or $10 a game, it's not going to help us getting those guys back. All it's going to do is pay the 70-year-olds more money. And it's going to make the SRA look good. And after her performance, 6 months that she's been in office, I don't think we should be making her look good. She needs to do her own thing. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it may blow up in everybody's face, but those people who know what's going on understand the problem, but we're trying not to share it all until, she says she's got an idea. She's had 6 months to have her idea come to fruition. She doesn't have the instructors or the administrators to do what she says she's going to do. Okay, so she wants the league and the clubs, to do 60 guys at a time for classes. But why is she saying that? Because she hasn't got enough instructors to do the classes the way they were doing.
I heard she said it was 40, not 60.
No, that other lady, that's the one who does her work, is the one who said 60. When we were arguing about where we're going to put 60 people in a class, where, under a shelter or in a building or what, they are short. The guy who gave the course at the AGM to the assigners is not an instructor. I mean, all you got to do is go look at the website and see that the guy is not an instructor. Why is he giving the course? So she's got an idea, but she cleaned house. And when she cleaned house, she swept everything out. Okay, even though she didn't like some of the people, they have the credentials, and the people that are left don't have some of the credentials that they need. So we're going to wind up with referees because they'll magically get certified. Okay. And that's on her, not on us, because she was too fast to do what she thinks she can do. And yes, I got a dog in this fight, because I had a program that's fallen apart with the people from the community organizations that were backing our referee project, that are now getting tired of waiting for us to get started. And so we're, everybody's at a standstill.
Well, I think that's some good points, Lou. I mean, the point is that if you have strong feelings one way or the other, it's really going to be important for you to show up at the AGM, because that's by basically what's in the bylaws, one of the things that we typically will review at the AGM. So I would say, bring
Which
that stuff
AGM, the
up.
state or ours?
No, our AGM, which we're going to do in November. So we're doing the November AGM type docket, the elections and referee fees and any other things that we would normally do in May, in November, in hopes that we're going to have a quorum in order to be able to do that. So
Does anybody know why we can't get a quorum?
with Zoom, it's pretty, you would think you would make it even easier, but we're going to have to try this other route to get it. After the AGM too, though, that's when the vote changes for people that want to be voting and non-voting. So it may be that we're going to be able to get a quorum a little bit easier, because we have fewer voting members than we've had in the past from people that are choosing not to be voting versus those that are. So the only thing I can do is tell you is that we'll hopefully have the quorum in November and be able to address those referee issues. Let me go through a couple of the other things that I did want to touch on. Obviously, with the season starting up this past weekend, and for the older kids, there were a few games that actually did get started in August, which was great, because we've had some really good weather over the last couple of weekends, at least down south. We had some. I know that there were a few games that we lost in the northern part of the area, but so far so good. Keep your fingers crossed that the weather stays good. Some of the issues that have come up, there's still a problem with some of the team information and contacting coaches. I would urge all of the club reps and coaches to make sure that the contact information in their team information forms is accurate. Please update it with multiple people that can be contacted. When they get in touch with me and say they can't reach somebody, I'm basically telling them to contact every single person associated with that specific club, whether that's a coach that coaches a team in a different age group, it doesn't matter, but call every single one of them. So yeah, please at least respond. If you can't come up with, an agreement to do something immediately, at least make a response back. So, because typically what happens is that then I'll get an email saying, this team won't respond, and it makes it difficult to deal with all of that. So update your team information when you can. That would be helpful. Mike Weber is going to be reaching out to those of you that have trophies from the playoffs. They're available. We're going to have them delivered. If you want them all delivered to a specific location for that club, if you have multiple and you want to get them out, he'll be reaching out to you hopefully by the end of this week, but I know that he's been super busy to get that information from you. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that we do have a couple of openings. We have an opening in the under 10 boys Division II, the under 11 boys Division II, an under 15 boys Division III, and an under 19 boys Division II. There's a lot more time, obviously, with some of the younger kids to kind of get those two teams in, but if you wanted to try and get in a 15 Division III or a 19 Division II, you need to do that pretty quickly, because there's a limited number of weeks typically with the high school season that can interrupt that play. Although, with the Division III and the Division II, it may not be as big of a deal, but those are available. I may also have an under 13 spot. There was a team that we created a potential schedule for in the under 13 Division II that is going to postpone till spring. So I do have a schedule that's been created for a team that we can add there too. So if you have an interest in, again, that's 10 Division II, 11 Division II, 15 Division III, 19 Division II, and also a 13 Division II. And I'll send out an email to everybody with the contents, at least the bullet points from this meeting so that you can, utilize that. Congratulations are in order from the teams that went to Southern Regionals. We have 6 clubs and teams that are going to be receiving the $1,000 stipend from the league. For State Cup Regionals, there was 2 girls teams, Team Boca's under 13 and the Breakers under 15. For the regionals, we had 2 boys teams, Southern Homestead Academy and Strikers Miami in the 15s and the 18s. And then we had 2 girls teams, Weston in the under 16s, and congratulations to Fort Lauderdale Select in the under 17s. So we'll be reaching out to those clubs too to find out if they want clubs checks written directly to teams or to the club in general, or if they want a club credit applied. And that will be taken care of through Barry and myself. We'll get those out to you. So congratulations again to them. Finally, the only other thing that I had is that if you do have some open credits on your account and you, because this had come up with some of the newer club reps, and you want them applied to your existing or open balance, reach out to me and let me know how you want them applied to specific charges, or whether you want them only to registrations, or do you want it applied to specific fines. If you have a 0 balance, we can cut you a check back to the club as well. So just let me know, send me an email, and I'll be happy to take care of that. Any of the open balances that you have from fall are going to be due within 90 days, or you'll start to see that your schedule results won't show up. You'll still see the games that are upcoming, but you won't see your past results, and there'll be a nasty little reminder that you have an open balance. So that's it from me, unless there's any specific questions. Lou?
Yes. Just a point of information. Half of the girls that were on that boat that crashed out in the bay.
Yes, thanks for bringing that up.
Okay. A lot of them played for, what's his name?
Eric.
And yes, and for Dr. Roque.
Dr. Roque, sure.
Yeah. I don't know whether his daughter was actually there, but it was a tragedy to be dealt with some time. Because it's going to be a disaster when they finally publish what happened.
I'm sure. Other questions? If you're not showing your video, just throw up a hand and Joe and I can get to it, or put a question in the chat.
Crystal, go ahead. Yeah, I was trying to get a hold of you, so please make a comment.
We held the referee training this past weekend. There was 5, we're in Southwest Florida, so 5 of us assigners all got together, decided that we would do it jointly together, split the cost. We got some waters, Gatorade. The facility gave us a discount on the rental. I think it was $100 for the 5 hours for the rental. That we all split together and held it. We had 60 plus referees, and we had 3 mentors there holding the course, and it was great. The referees enjoyed it. The mentors enjoyed it, and we got really good positive feedback from hosting it and having it done locally in our area.
Crystal, do you know who were the people who instructed there?
Yes, it was Rigo Shakan.
Okay.
He's a signer. Arthur Bin, he's another assigner. And then there was a young lady, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But the 3 of them were here to do the class for the new referees and then do the recertification for the returning referees.
That's great.
Are you looking on the website to see if they were instructors, Barry?
Sorry?
I know that they were mentors. They had to go through the training in August. That's why this whole recertification in person couldn't start until after September 1, because they wanted to go through and get the mentors recertified before they could hold the course. And I know as of September 1st, they open up their dates. So we are planning actually to do another one before the end of the year. That way for the kids and guys that missed out on this first one, we can get them recertified before January.
Okay.
And where'd you conduct that?
We held it at Paradise Coast, where a lot of the tournaments are now in Naples, Florida.
Right,
Perfect.
great.
Hey, how are you guys? If anybody's
Tom.
interested, I am hosting, Daniel Weiss hosting, on-field recertification only on Thursday, September 22nd, which is the closest one I think you can get in Hollywood at Dowdy Field from 7 to 9 p.m. This way we can get in and out and hopefully get 100 referees.
This is field training?
Yes, the field training only. It's
Tom,
not for
what
new
was that?
referees.
I'm sorry, what was the date again?
September 22nd, 7 to 9 p.m., Dowdy
Dowdy.
Field, Johnson Street in Hollywood. It's led by Gregory Watson.
Perfect.
Really? He's still alive? huh?
Before Lou asks.
No, but that's great, Tom. I mean, we can get it on the website and
I mean,
Yeah.
if anybody gets their online stuff done, they'll see it as one of the available clinics. And to be honest with you, there's really nothing else nearby or close because everything was really, really far north. Or like
Yeah.
Weston has one at the end of November, and Plantation has one on end of October. So really, if you want to get certified now, this is the best place to get recertified now. So I'm willing to give him more. Let's see how the first one goes. I'm hoping to get all of my referees in, but you know,
But this is research only, right, Tom? Not a,
research only, yes. That's why he was able to do it only for 2 hours rather than a whole 5-hour session and waste a weekend because we all need referees on weekends. So last weekend, I lost a bunch of referees because they were driving to Jupiter to get recertified in the middle of a Saturday when we needed them, you know? So I told them I want to do mine in the middle of the week. And so, and also to Lou's point, I think they're actually hosting Tuesday, Wednesday instructor research or mentor research, which is why they're already in town. So, you know, kind of piggybacking.
But the
on that.
mentors are not instructors, Tom.
Whatever they are.
Oh,
I was instructor, but it was too complicated to research.
Yes.
So
and
something new
Pedro
became.
was an instructor and it was too complicated for him to do either.
Now they want me to run laps.
But when you're going to take over a new program, you don't fire everybody until you find out whether you need them or not.
We love you, Lou.
Thank you.
hey, Tom, do you know, will they do an entry level over multiple days as opposed to a 5-hour?
I don't think so.
So they won't do them just in the evening?
Even getting this done was required a lot of red tape and, you know,
I'm sure.
bending the rules and stuff. So
Great job.
Thanks.
thanks. Well, I've been trying since June, so.
When you become vice president, you can push them harder.
Sure.
Anything else?
Nothing for me.
Okay,
Anybody else
so,
have anything else?
by the way, does anyone know what the mechanism would be right now for the reelection, for the election?
For the VP, region
Yeah.
AVP?
Yeah, it's supposed to be up on the website, isn't it?
It's gonna be done by email.
The same as we did it last year. You have a Zoom meeting and then you do the election by email.
Okay,
yeah, but what's the date, Tom?
I just put a link in a chat.
Thank you, Tom.
It's
Thank you.
It's September 21st, 6 p.m. Wednesday. 5 minutes to speak. Zoom, you can nominate from the floor. Only agents of records will be able to vote unless there's a proxy. And you have to email both Becky and Joel. My problem is, to be honest with you, they have a FISA board meeting on October 21st, I want to say. Please don't hold me to the date. And the way this is written is if it's more than 2 people running and nobody gets 51%, it almost sounds they're going to restart the whole process again. I'm hoping it's not another 30 days and then we get to email them again, you know? So that's my concern, the way this thing is written.
Okay. Right now, I only know of 2 people who are running.
Who are
Okay.
the two?
You and Marino.
Who? Tom?
Tom.
Awesome.
So it says, should no candidate receive 51%, the region will be notified, which tells me a whole nother email process, right? and a revote will be held using the same procedure. Last time, if you remember when we did it, we kind of just took a 15-minute break and we revoted right there on the spot. I don't think we should delay this by another.
Who's going to be receiving these emails?
Becky and Joel.
Becky and Joel.
But the vote is by email? The vote is by,
The vote is by email, yes.
that's weird.
So let me ask you this: if you are finally properly agent of record and you send it to both of them, and one of them says I got it, and the other one says I didn't, does that mean your vote is not valid?
That's why I want,
I don't know why we can't come up with a better
mark
system.
me
than
down
email.
as President Trump. I want a neutral person in that.
Mark me down, this should be in person, period.
Yeah,
Tom, are you running, yes or no?
If I get nominated,
Oh,
That's a yes.
could you be less specific? Would you accept the position if people voted for you to have it?
yes, I would.
Would you want the
And
position?
Marie, and I
if
talked to
people
and I talked to
suggested you
Marina
take
about it, and I guess each of
Well,
us.
I
has
guess
their own.
what?
No, he has been officially nominated. I mean,
I
just to
have?
make the record,
Well,
no,
I mean,
Marino
that's a
has been
non-issue.
officially nominated, just to make the record clear.
Well,
Why
How
aren't
can
they
you- how can-
advertising that?
Joe, how could you be officially nominated? There's no process for that, is there? You just self-nominate, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
You just say,
self-nominate.
I'm running, that's all you have to do.
Well, I thought that he got Tom to nominate him so that they could fight, have something to fight over. It's almost as if, hey, this is almost as funny as watching the board meeting.
You really enjoy that, don't you, Lou?
Let me tell you, I am so sad that it's come to this.
Lou, you have right to be sad because you were there in the beginning, and I am sure that you put in staff to help the volunteers because at some point volunteers could no longer do it because the association grew to be bigger than originally was, which was a good thing, right? And now it sounds like it's completely opposite.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The elected officials in our board of directors do or know very little about what the hell they're supposed to be doing. And they let the staff do it all. Okay. This is not a government position where the staff can do.
And Lou, and what happened to the fact that we had 9 employees fired in the last 2 years? I mean, they can say they resigned,
He's
but
cleaning house, man.
they didn't resign. They were asked, would you like to resign or would you like me to fire you? And then you don't get
Yes,
some benefits.
that's the thing he said to Jenny on Wednesday.
That's how Rosemary got fired, but she's
Yeah.
not allowed to disclose it.
But does that make it wrong, or does that make it improving, or what does it make it? I mean, there's a process.
With some of the people,
There's a difference between a process and a result. So what improves the organization? I don't know the answer.
what improves the organization is not getting rid of the people who know what they're doing.
Correct.
It improves the organization to supervise the people who know what they're doing so that they don't start doing more than they know what they're doing. Okay, we don't have any problems yet that we can see with the registration process. I mean, Alice is pretty much on top of all of that. But the competition, and I mean, look what happened to Juventus and who was the other one? Strikers. Okay, oh, we didn't have any teams going to the Nationals. Well, you stupid ass, you threw them out. You got the Nationals to throw them out because you made a mistake in the office. And the girl who made the mistake or was responsible for the mistake had balls enough to tell us that she did it. And she made a mistake. But those 45 kids are out, couldn't go to the Nationals they should have been there at the AGM. Because if they'd have gone to the Nationals, they'd have won them.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, I've seen them play. It would have been tough to beat them.
So
All right.
you know, we had a very, very bad year this year. And they're trying to throw sawdust over all the shit. But it's I was very serious at the regional meeting in Fort Lauderdale before the AGM, when I got up and said that you guys make me feel like I wasted 50 years of my life.
You did.
Yeah.
No, Lou, I hate to say it, but I think I've known you for 50 years of your life, and you did not.
Well, look at the shit we're in.
It doesn't mean that you wasted 50 years of your life. That just means that people didn't appreciate what they should have been doing, learning from you as to what they should have been doing for the last 50 years. But that being said, we are where we are, so what can we do to improve it? That's for it. I mean, that's all we can do.
Yeah, we're not going to improve it not coming to meetings and not being able to have a quorum, that's for sure.
Correct. And hopefully in November, when we're all together in person, that'll change. And we'll still accept people, proxies, whatever, in order to get a quorum. But it's important to, have the people who care to be represented be represented. And many of those, I guess Jeff can speak to this better than I can, as to those who choose not to be voting members, so to speak, because of whatever reasons. I mean, we've made it easy as possible to attend with Zoom and everything else, but we'll deal with that next. But as for purpose of tonight, unless there's something else we need to discuss right now, we'll put out the notices and where we'll be in November, and anything we can do in between time. Obviously, you know how to get a hold of us. And I think that's it. Anything else to say?
Appreciate you guys attending.
Thank you very much.
We'll send